So today I'm going to answer a lot of questions that you all have asked me about living in Virginia Beach through Williamsburg. Questions you posed to me in the comments in these YouTube videos. You guys have asked a lot of great questions, and so I want to be able to answer in detail beyond just what I can possibly post in a comment. So we'll pick some good ones and answer them. Well, so the first one is I wanted to talk and give more perspective on some reasons why I make these videos is from Trace E-Alt 8628. You're obviously not from Virginia Beach. My family has been here since 1619. My family has not. We are suburbs because Princess Anne County was the outskirts of Norfolk and the rest was and still is mostly farmland. The oceanfront was a tiny town of a few blocks. Yeah, a hunting and fishing resort for the wealthy. Our biggest industries are military, farming, and tourism. We encompass over 300 square miles. Okay, so this was a comment from a video that was talking about 5 current things that I thought you needed to know about moving to Virginia Beach right now. And I think something worth mentioning about this is that a lot of times videos I do can be very, very detailed. And I love the detail. I try and put a lot of detail into my videos. And so, for example, this video, 5 things to know, are 5 things that I think that weren't necessarily very commonly discussed things. And I wanted to say those things because they weren't commonly discussed. They're not commonly discussed, and you can't find them very many places at all. So I want to make sure people that move here know about those things. But what often happens is that those details are for that specific video, but it doesn't give a full context about living in the area. However, if you watch a video and think this is all Sam thinks is important to know about moving here before you come, I think that's where it can convey the wrong perception. So know that going into it, that watch the entire library of what I'm making. I think you can kind of get a better picture of what I feel about an area. That being said, I think it's still kind of funny to see comments like this. Definitely am from Virginia Beach. So the next one is from Elk E. Delacruz 4057. Hi Sam, I'm a big fan of your videos. Maybe a future video can address taxes. Yeah, what are property taxes like and do they vary by areas? Do cities include trash pickup or does a homeowner need to pay for private trash service? Great question. What about recycling? Also a great question. Are there strange ordinances in particular cities in Hampton Roads? Just some ideas. Okay, some good questions here and I'll address some of these in brief right now. So first, the tax dynamic. Each city's taxes are a bit different. In the real estate taxes, Portsmouth has the highest of any city in Hampton Roads, where it's about $1.30 per $100 of assessed value. Now, Virginia Beach's tax rate is 99 cents for every $100 of assessed value. Norfolk's is $1.25, and Chesapeake's is $1.04. So it does have a wide range there on the south side. But then if you go up to Williamsburg, York County, now those, James City County, those are going to be, Williamsburg is 64 cents per $100, and York County is just a little bit higher than that. Second thing, you mentioned the trash service. Almost the whole Hampton Roads area has city trash service and recycling. However, James City County, it's specifically does not, and you have to pay for a third-party trash service and recycling if you want a curbside. There are several companies that do it and you can pay their individual fees for each one. Right now, Virginia Beach is talking about also eliminating recycling service or doing some sort of change to how they do it right now, which is that in the taxes, they come once every 2 weeks. So it's kind of to be determined at this point, but I could see that changing in different dynamics in different parts of the Hampton Roads area as well. Are there strange ordinances in particular cities in Hampton Roads? One is you can't cruise the strip, the boardwalk in Virginia Beach. You can't drive down the same direction along the boardwalk in the oceanfront any more than twice within a 3-hour period. And so that's the no cruising rule. And so that's to eliminate traffic, people just kind of going up and down the boardwalk, and people have done that in the past. Have I seen anybody be pulled over for this? No. Have I been looking for it? Also no. Next is from DZL8596. Name a metropolitan town that doesn't have traffic congestion, maybe in Montana or Wyoming. This speaks to a larger, kind of a hot topic in Hampton Roads, which is the traffic. And for a long time, decades, Hampton Roads, that goes from Virginia Beach up north, it has been branded as a bad traffic area. That has stayed that way for a while. It's been super awful, like even in the 80s, 90s, as the growth of the area increased, especially the 90s into the 2000s, the accessibility to different parts of town was rough. Interstates were rough. Getting from place to place, this was a nightmare, especially the tunnels. But things have started to change in the last 5 to 7 years, I think. They've widened a lot of roads in very congested areas to where a lot of places that had really bad traffic have gotten a lot better. So the biggest issues with traffic now are mostly on 64 East and West going towards the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. And I'll show you where that is. This whole area here, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and through Hampton, the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel is still really bad. And they're going to be fixing this. It's going to still take, I'd say, probably 3, 4, 5 years at least for the tunnel to be fully widened, and they're going to double the lanes. They're going to increase the height of the tunnel, because some of the traffic at this tunnel is because trucks that were too tall to drive through the tunnel, they had to be stopped at the tunnel and made to turn around and go to a different tunnel to get to where they needed to go. And that created random backups at random parts of the day. So I think traffic will start lightening up in the next few years, creating more value, I think, to be had in the Hampton and Newport News area for real estate. In North, because people will be more willing to drive across the tunnel to get there and back and forth, like work on one side and live on the other. In Hampton, Newport News is really a lot cheaper for real estate than you can find, for example, in Norfolk and Virginia Beach and Chesapeake. The next one is Deborah E.6263 says, we live in coastal New Jersey right now. Cool. We're looking to move to Virginia Beach summer 2025 when my stepson graduates from high school. My brother is currently living in Chesapeake. Would like to find a fixer-upper, but more cosmetic than major work if possible. Need a 3-bedroom with garage and safe area. Can go up to $300,000, but would love to keep around $250,000. Need a ranch style. We're flexible Virginia Beach or Chesapeake, not beach people. And me too. So water proximity is not important. Okay, so this also speaks to a greater discussion that happens a lot when I talk to people about moving to the area, which is price range and how much house you can find for different prices. Look, if you want to be under $250,000 or $275,000, it's going to be very challenging to find a detached house with a garage, 3 bedrooms, and all the spot exactly that you want, and the condition that you might want. It's almost at this point non-existent. Right now, there are 5 houses in Chesapeake and Virginia Beach total under $250,000 that are 3 bedrooms or more with a garage. Norfolk, it gets better, but still, same thing. Most of the houses that you'll find are going to be priced over $250,000, detached single-family houses. So then you add a garage to that, you add different dynamics to that, then you're starting to get into, really there aren't too many options under $300,000, period. This leads me to another concept that I think is very important if you're planning to move here and want the idea of a fixer-upper. A fixer-upper can mean different things to different people. But a lot of people might want a fixer-upper in a way that's like, I'm okay with redoing floor or painting or doing some cosmetic stuff, right? It's when you get into the structural things that people are a lot more concerned about. And I think that's real. I think that's a valid concern. They're valid concerns. But what happens is that people that want fixer-uppers, a lot of them end up wanting the same types of fixer-uppers, the ones that don't require as much work or that have less surprises. That's what everybody wants that wants a fixer-upper. And what happens then is those types of houses usually have a higher premium in the context of houses that need work, right? So you often find that I want a deal, but I also want a deal that doesn't require work. Well, the deal that looks like it should be a deal becomes less of a deal when more people want that deal, right? And so the best deals come from the ones that have the biggest question marks, the most work that needs to be done. So if you want the fixer-upper, but the not a lot of surprises fixer-upper doesn't need as much work, you'll find that those might cost more than you might think, even though they might still look bad or need work, because people that want the deals all want those types of deals first. So the next one is Warriors Fan 540. Very interesting and thorough of you to add allergy concerns to your list. Thank you. I lived in Chesapeake for 17 years and have a love-hate relationship with the area for a lot of the reasons you mentioned. The traffic congestion was my biggest gripe. And this, I think, was the video, a video about reasons I don't like Chesapeake. Allergies is one of the most under-discussed issues that comes up, not just in Chesapeake, but Hampton Roads in general. This area has... there are people I know that come from different parts of the country, different parts of the world, that get here and it's like, man, my sinuses are acting up. Allergies and asthma are common issues across the area. And it's not just specifically Chesapeake. And that's another reason why I suggest if you're planning to move to Virginia Beach or the area, please come at least once, as much as you can. Just try and get a feel of what it's like here first. I'm not saying you won't like it necessarily, but there are some things, some surprises that might come up, like the allergies, like the asthma, that I think that would be helpful to know before you move here, just to make sure. And again, it's not like a few days is going to solve all the problems and tell you everything you need to know, but it's going to definitely help. So I definitely would do that if I were you. So the next one is AMISG 3007. Very informative video. Thank you. You're welcome. Do you have any information on how the new Amazon warehouse in Virginia Beach and the road in Pungo connecting to the new housing developments would affect the housing markets? Great question. So I have not talked about this at all yet, but Amazon is coming to Virginia Beach, coming to the corner of London Bridge Road and Harper's Road, and I'll show you where that is. And so if you look in the southeastern part of Virginia Beach, down here just south of Oceana Naval Air Station, right here, well, that's in a pretty generally commercial-ish and undeveloped part of town. So you see here, like there it is. But it's in an area that not only is noisy, it's kind of Dam Neck is a cut through to a lot of different parts of the area. And I do think that it's going to affect demand in neighborhoods nearby, namely like Castleton, Lake Placid. There are some like Hunt Club Farms. There are some neighborhoods in and around the distribution center that I think could have a bump in demand for this because of this. So I think if you're planning to move here because of Amazon, number one, I would definitely try and get a house close by if you want it. Get it before this really starts getting traction, because it will be finished in the end of 2024 is what I'm hearing. It's going to, I think, affect appreciation to a certain degree. So I think there will be a bump in demand closest to the distribution center. So anything close to Dam Neck Road, General Booth, even Southeast Virginia Beach, because people are going to be looking for specific school districts a lot of times. Ocean, Lakes, Kellam are two big ones. Lansdowne's close by as well, Salem. And so I think there will be some boost demands in certain school districts because people that come here often look for different school districts to move to. The next one is coming from at Wild Stallion-BS 900. The new stormwater park in the Bow Creek Park area, I think, will be huge. Can you update this project? Of course. For those who don't know, Bow Creek was for a long time a golf course in pretty much the central part of Virginia Beach, and I'll show you where it is. It's near Lynn Haven Mall, and there's Bow Creek Rec Center next to Bow Creek. It's this whole area here was the golf course, and it was to be honest with you, a horrible golf course. I played it a few times, and it was just like the worst in the area. And that was partly because I think over time they stopped taking care of it. Well, this whole general area around Bow Creek is one of the worst parts of Virginia Beach that deals with flooding. And in Hurricane Matthew in 2016, this the hurricane decimated this area, and a lot of flooding issues here. Drainage problems was one of the biggest reasons why. And so this area then has, over time, the city has discussed what to do about this area, and they decided, okay, we're going to repurpose this, turn it into some nature areas, places for more drainage, storage facilities for additional excess water. So the whole plan won't be done for about 10 years. However, they will start opening different pieces up as they finish it. There'll be some nature areas that will be preserved. So it won't just be like, all storage facilities and ugly, but I think there's going to be a lot of mixture of what the use of the area will be for, but it'll be mostly designed just to mitigate any flooding issues. But it's going to take a long time for this to be fully completed. And so, incrementally, you'll see things be finished, but you can check on the Virginia Beach website you can see what the progress will be, but it will take several years. The next comment is from at Ajunta Paul. I've been to over 40 countries, and Hampton Roads is the worst place with the worst people I've been and met. Wow. Number one is, I'm sorry that you feel this way. Just from a person-to-person perspective, I don't want anybody to not enjoy anywhere that they live. But number two is, can't please everybody. And so I do know for a fact that people that move here, some don't like it. And it could be because it's boring. It could be because people were rude to them. I don't think a lot of people are generally rude here, to be honest. I've heard a lot of people comment the opposite. And this is one thing that I don't necessarily talk about much because I think it's a very generally friendly area. But that being said, it depends maybe on where you're coming from, might affect how you perceive this area too. This is another example of if you plan to move to Virginia Beach, the area, and you expect to love it, there will be people that come here and don't like it. And that's why I try and find and put balance in videos I make, because I want people to have as much of a full perspective of what this area actually is like before you come here, and not just be wowed by all the cool things here. There is a lot of drawbacks, and I want to make sure you know all of them as much as possible. And the next comment, I love this one, is from @theturkeyhead57. Terrible video. Wouldn't you think he'd want to point out the positives about a city if he actually wants someone to buy a house there? OMG, too many 7-Eleven stores? And laugh out loud. Okay, so the answer actually is I don't want everybody to buy a house here. I'm a real estate agent. I know that. But my goal in making these videos is to make sure that people that want to be here get the best information, but also the people that might not like it also get the best information. I enjoy and appreciate and love helping people move here. And that's what I do job wise. But I also want to help people in their lives. I want to help people figure out for themselves what they want to do. I love that part. And I only want to help people here if they want to be here. And so I try and find negatives that I think are important to know. In this video, talking about 5 current things to know before moving to Virginia Beach, I talk about some negatives in this video, and I want you to know about those negatives. This is also how I show houses a lot of times. You won't hear me talk a lot about the positives, about oh my gosh, look at this wonderful kitchen. My theory is you will know when you walk into a kitchen if you like the kitchen or not, or if it's a nice kitchen. You don't need me to say that, right? There might be some other negatives about the house that I might say, hey, just be aware. These are opinions I have, but these are things to be cautious about before you make any decisions. I feel like that's part of my job, is to give valid opinions that help you make a decision. This is what I do about this area too. I want to make sure you have as balanced of a perspective before you make a decision. And then I trust you to decide for yourself what you like and don't like. Sometimes I might focus on things that might come across as negative too much, but I just want you to feel like you're getting the full picture. So if you have any more questions about relocating to Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach through Williamsburg, and you need help, let me know. That's what I do. I love helping people relocate to the area. So you can comment, you can email, call, text, anytime, and I'll do whatever I can to help you build a plan and relocate to the area. And I will see you on the next video.